Good evening. What's up and what's good? And welcome to Loc'd On Sports 216 with me, Keith Fallon, and introducing
Sean
the man,
C.
the legend from EC, Mr.
Uh,
Sean C.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you.
What's up and what's good?
Man, slow motion behind gear.
I know that's
Glad to
right.
be here.
Yes, definitely glad to have you here.
Hey, Locked On Sports.
Yes, no doubt. For
Give
all you
everybody the
watching,
rundown.
if you haven't watched, subscribe to the Locked On Sports 216 channel on YouTube. Go on there, click subscribe, and hit the bell, and you'll be notified whenever we come on.
For sure.
Tonight, we're going to talk about the Cavaliers and what's going on with them. And we're going to give our report cards that we have for the Browns of the grades.
Definitely.
And, the upper brass may not be happy. Now you had
It
to bring
is
that
what it
report card
is.
home,
Yes.
and it ain't so
So,
good and everything.
might be some scolding going on, a little punishment.
Yeah, it might be a little punishment going on and stuff because the grades are not too good. But anyway, we're gonna get to the Cavs first. But first, we got a message from our sponsor, a live read.
Oh, go
Styled
for
so
it.
unique at 24 Karat Chocolate's Boutique, where she specializes in custom handmade professional t shirts and hoodies for all occasions, uniforms, puzzles, towels, and much more. Don't take my word for it. The work itself speaks for itself. Don't let that be the new trendsetter. And let that be the new trendsetter. Customize the way you like it, either for family reunions, gender reveals, or graduations, or just a graphic tee at 24 Karat Chocolate Boutique. Go and check her out. You can hit her up at 1-937-360-4386, or you can log on at 24ktchocolates.info. Chocolates Boutique.
Check it out.
Definitely check it out. She hooked up the
So,
Mad Mondays t-shirts for us. That'll be coming soon.
like I said, and we'll be purchasing more merch in the future for sure, for sure.
No doubt.
We
But
need some cards. Go ahead.
yeah, you're right. We do need some cards. But first off, first round of business we're gonna get to is scroll up here. Locked on Sports 216. First question is, what's up with the Cavs? We all know the Cavs sit 31-22 in fifth place in the Eastern Conference, but lately they've been kind of off and on for a while. So, Sean, you want to give your synopsis?
No, I'll let you start this one off.
Okay.
I'm the guest here.
Okay. Well, I actually think, honestly, the Cavs are basically tired. Heading into the All
Hmm.
Star break, which is coming up, they're tired. And they, how can I say this? They've been up and down, and mainly what concerns me, I'm not really concerned as far as the overall record because I
Hmm.
had them finishing fifth or sixth anyway, and I had
Right.
them winning about 48 games. So
And that's fair.
yeah, their play on the road is quite concerning. I will say that because they've lost a lot of late leads on the road, and you won't be able to do that in the playoffs.
Right.
And like when I was watching the Miami game, I think Miami just out executed the Cavs for real, in the last couple of minutes.
Like, what do you think is the most what is the contributing factor? You said that fatigue might be one of the problems. Do you think it might be coaching also? Do you think it might be our youth? What do you think is
A little
what would
bit,
you say is the biggest
I would say a little bit of mainly the youth and coaching, and the fact that the Cavs turns the ball over a lot.
yes.
And really at inopportune times, they just get kind of sloppy with their play on offense sometimes. And I think they're too guard reliant as
Hmm.
far as on offense. They're too guard reliant. And right now, if they don't fix that, they'll be like the Portland Trailblazers used to be in the West.
I agree with you. Like, we do rely on our guards a lot, but right now we kind of have to,
Right.
because outside of them, who do we really go to? Because
That's true.
everybody else has been inconsistent.
Yes. And I also think that I think they could work Evan Mobley into the offense a little bit more, but not force it to him either at the same time.
I
Where
think they've been doing a good job, not cutting you off, but I think the last couple games they've been doing a good job of getting him involved early. And when he
right,
gets it, he goes into a more of an attack mode instead of looking
yes,
to pass. And we need a
right,
lot more of that for him to develop.
right.
But oh, good.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that they're kind of like acquiring Donovan kind of put us in a different space.
Yes,
Like before he came, we could have waited for Evan Mobley to get better and, like you say, take chances and, throw away a couple games just for him to try and get his. But right now we
right.
need as many victories as we can for positioning because we don't want to be in the play-in. So
That's true.
it is what it is. And that's why I kind of give JB a small pass, because that's got to be tricky. Like, you're trying to win games, but still
At the
remember that
same time,
everybody on your team is young. Your
yes,
veteran is 26.
right. Your veteran is 26, and he was considered a young dude at his last stop at Utah. So now the leadership role is squarely on him now, and that's something that takes to get used to.
Hmm.
And the fact that you also got a team with injuries that's kind of injury riddled, because Rubio
Yes.
isn't playing the same as last year, but he just came back from a torn ACL, and it's going to
Yeah.
take time for him to get back to snuff. Kevin
Yeah.
Love has been out off and on all this year. Dean Wade
Correct.
has been out off and on all this year. And
Yes.
Garland's been out at times, and Donovan Mitchell right now is going through an injury right now, and you could tell he's not 100%. And in a sense, you can make a case that he probably maybe should be sitting out, start break for real through with that growing injury, because that injury
Agreed.
ain't no joke.
Yeah,
So,
we need them for later on in the season. Like
right,
now, like definitely we don't want to leave games on the table, but it's not as dire as later on in the season. Like say we might need him to just go out and win us a couple games, just to be honest.
right. And in JB, far as JB's coaching, a lot of people's been raking him through the fire lately. I'm not concerned. You know what I'm saying? Not concerned because in
Yeah,
the case, the times that he's had opportunities to coach, all those teams were going nowhere.
true.
And when he first got the job here, this Cavs team was going nowhere. It's this Cavs team was stuck in the railroad tracks with the rope around their legs, arms, and neck on the tracks. And
Yeah,
JB completely changed the culture and
yeah.
expectations of the squad.
And that's been the problem. Like the expectations were accelerated as soon as Donovan was signed. And that's the only
Exactly.
difference. Like
Right.
if he wouldn't have been signed, the progression would have been, like you said, JB learned, take some lumps. The team learns because we were still young, and we just
Yeah.
see what happens. But now it's like playoffs or
Playoffs are
hot
bust.
seat.
Right. And I don't really
Well,
think he's in the hot seat. Not this year at all, because it's kind of like they just want to get to the playoffs this year. Play a
and that's
series,
all.
and everybody needs to get that experience.
And we just build from there. And everybody just as fans, I get it that we want all we want it all, but basketball, we know that it's a regression. We've seen it for
Yeah,
years, we've seen it for decades. It's a regression. You get a certain level, get a taste of the playoffs, and then build from there.
because really right now this Cavs team kind of reminds me of the Detroit Pistons in the 80s when Isaiah used to score like 26, 27 a game, but they'll get put
Mhm.
out like in the first round of the playoffs and everything. But they was young
Right.
and they had to learn. And a lot of times with this Cavs team, they have to learn how to win.
There you go.
And in the NBA, everybody knows young teams don't win the championship in the NBA.
Well, we can't say it'll never happen, but we haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it yet. Because think about it. Golden State, before those four championships, they went through their growing pains.
Hmm.
The Memphis Grizzlies, right now, are going through their growing pains. Um, the Boston Celtics, very best example right now, are going through their growing pains and agonizing times. Because think about it.
Yes.
Jason Tatum and them went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cavs when LeBron was still here, and Tatum was a rookie, and Jaylen Brown was a second-year player. And Jaylen
Yep.
Brown at the time hadn't found himself at that time. He was just
They're
basically an
balling now.
athlete. Yep. Yeah.
They gave the Nets the business last night.
Whew. Nets didn't have a chance. Nets didn't have a chance last night. They got up on them so fast. They was up like 27-4 before Kyrie and them knew what hit them. But and the Milwaukee Bucks, because there were concerns about Mike Budenholzer before they won that championship.
That's true. Like every team has like basketball is like you can kind of predict things, but once it gets to a certain level, you can't call it. Like even
Yeah.
this year, like the whole West, it's like 10 teams that can win it out there, and then it's only 4 teams that can
Win it
realistically
in the
get it out
East.
this way.
Yeah. And the 4 teams are the first 4 spots for real, for real.
Correct. Correct.
And you might have an outlier with Miami, because Miami, even though they don't have the talent as the 5 ahead,
Hmm,
I mean,
I don't know.
talent
They
wise,
got some pieces like
they got
sleeping,
some pieces, but I mean,
because I
they're
mean
all
Jimmy Butler
complementary.
shows up. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
one of those
shows up and
different
shows
guys.
out. Yeah. But I mean, like, say they don't have the superstar cachet like, say, Philly,
True.
Brooklyn,
True.
Milwaukee, and
Very
Boston.
true.
But
True.
the coach is a superstar. Spoelstra is a superstar.
There you go. That's what
He's
separates
a
everything.
superstar. And they
No
play hard.
disrespect to the other coaches, but like this dude's been doing it for years. With
Yes.
like say he creates great teams, and that's what he
Yes.
doesn't get a lot of credit for.
And Miami might be the best, far as team wise. They work together. The culture and everything is good, real
Hmm.
excellent. And that's where JB is slowly pulling the Cavs to,
Yes.
where the culture is up there. Because before, there wasn't no culture. Team was about to jump ship on Beeline,
True.
and JB
Like
came and changed everything up.
and we're off to a great start, and like
Yes.
just everybody just pump the brakes a little bit. Like I said, if we
Be
make the
patient.
playoffs, that'll be a great thing. I
Right.
mean, we're playing great defensively, so we're gonna have we'll have a shot. Not
Yes.
saying that we will win it, but you can't say that we can't win it,
Right.
because we do have a superstar on our team. Actually,
Yeah.
two
Yes.
elite scorers, and I mean, Karras can get you 50 if he, on that one night or
on
whatever.
that one night. Yeah,
Even Chetty shows up for 40. How about that?
exactly. So, you think the Cavs need to make any acquisitions before the trade deadline?
Like we discussed earlier, like I would say yes, but one, what would we have to give up to get this person? And two, what person can we possibly get? Like who's out there that we could possibly trade for, and not lose our whole bench to do it. You know what I mean?
True. Because I see a lot of people talking about Bay from Detroit and John Collins from Atlanta, but Detroit and Atlanta gonna want something back.
Correct.
They just not gonna say, "Here, take them and give us a couple draft picks."
And the only thing we have of value really is like Kev Love's contract, because they could
Yes,
probably
it's
get that off their
expiring.
books. But
LeVert's
other than that,
contract
we'll
is
have to get.
expiring.
But LeVert, like his value is him being on your team. Like that's what
Yeah,
makes him funny. You know what I mean? If a team
right,
trades for him, they don't want to trade for him to keep him for 1 year unless they're a contender.
right.
But then they won't want to give up a lot for him. So what will we get in return for him? That's either comparable or like it would be nothing. I don't understand. Yeah, I can't even think of
Yeah, it's
anything that we
like
could come back with.
now maybe you can give DeMarcus Cousins a shot as a big coming off the bench.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, no, and that's the thinking. I'm thinking more like that. Like we have to
right,
make a move it can't be a big move because we don't have a lot of assets to trade away. And
right,
like I said earlier, I think by committee, our small forwards position is good. If we can get another big man, I'll take it. If
okay,
not, like I said, we just have to develop a style that Evan Mobley can play the 5, when,
yeah,
Jared Allen goes to the bench.
right.
Or like say Robin Lopez just had to play a bigger role. But I mean, relying on Kevin Love to be the big man presence, I can't rock
I
with that.
can't see it right now
That's
this
all.
year because dude been often injured this year, so and
Yeah,
right
and I
now he's
mean he's
injured
not the
now.
same, he's never been like a shutdown interior
Defender,
defender.
right?
So
And like I
but if
said,
we could get a young dude, like I'm sad like a guy like Moses Brown didn't hang with us because he would be like one of the perfect pieces.
you know what? I was wondering why they didn't keep Moses Brown.
I have no idea. Like he would be ideal right now. I mean, he might have wanted too much money or something. We don't know.
Yeah,
That would be
because
something to look into.
he was like a double when he played.
He just gave us a double the last time they played.
Right.
Seriously, like he had like 20 and 10 or something crazy
Yes, he was a
against the
double.
Cavaliers.
He was a double. So it was like I wonder why they didn't keep him. But hey,
You
because
never know.
Lopez isn't gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, apparently he's a great locker room guy, and you need guys like that for sure. And I mean, he's a smart basketball player, and he's probably teaching our big men, where to be and what to do. But
Right.
like you said, in the playoffs, what is going to be your value? Like we
Yeah.
don't really need another coach. We need a
We
7-footer that's
actually need a
going to
seven
board or
footer
whatnot.
that can spell Mobley and Allen when they're out and stuff.
Correct.
Because yeah, something
Excuse me.
if
Excuse me.
something hopefully not knock on wood happens to one of them, they in trouble.
Yes. And that's
They
the only
are in
that's the
trouble.
only fear that as we roll, we get into a great position later on in the season, and then the same thing happened as last season,
Yeah, when
and
Allen went out.
or both of them go out, or
Yes.
knock on wood. Hopefully, neither.
Right. We
Everybody
pray
goes
that
in
neither
healthy.
one, yeah. Because like I said, I think mainly this team is basically I think they need the All-Star break to clear their minds and everything, and that's a
Yeah,
reset.
get some rest, get things back together, like you say, back in order, and we'll see what's up. That's
Right.
at my house.
So so like I said, right now they're 31-22 in fifth place. They take on the Memphis Grizzlies tonight,
Mm.
and the Cavs are a 5-point favorite.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
got to get used
5-point
to this
favorite.
betting stuff here in Ohio.
Oh, you started betting and everything?
No, I only I
I
only
can't
gamble on
do
my jump shot at this point.
it. I can't do it. I mean, I'm just not no gambler anyway. So, but
No, I've thought about it. I don't knock it because like the offers that they got going on where you can, test it out and get however much for free or whatever.
right,
Free money, I rock with that. So I
you
might
ain't the
give it a
only one.
go. I'm quite sure it's a catch that, we're not aware of.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
if it's not though, hey, I'll bet on something just, to get to 200.
I know that's right.
Who
200 is
knows?
better than nothing.
To try and, gamble it, hey, I'll play with the house money, no problem.
That's what I said. Like, hey, cause what I was gonna say? Cause you give 25 and you get like 200 to bet with.
Apparently, you get something. Like I said, I'm willing to check that out. But other than that, like going to casinos and stuff, that's not really me. Like I say, I respect it, but I'm just not in the business of giving my money away.
You ain't the only one.
Unless, like I say, hey, you never know. It's a new day and age.
True, true that.
Like I say,
Like
if
I
they set
said,
up a gym in one of the casinos, I'll definitely
said I'll
like
definitely be there.
let's set
So
up a 3-point line. I'll shoot double or nothing on that all day.
right. As far as everything else, it's like, oh well, the betting is cool, but
No, like I understand what that people do it for fun and it's wreck. I get it.
right.
Don't knock it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm up
And
here.
we might catch the Fred Flintstone bug. Remember that cartoon? Bad, 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 bad. You might you might catch that bug once you try it. You never know.
Right, exactly. You never know in things. Also on the hardwood tonight, Cleveland State men's basketball. They take on the University of Detroit Titans. They up in D-Town. Taking
Okay.
on Detroit. The Vikings are doing pretty well. Pretty well as I can go. I know there's something like 13-9 this year.
Okay.
13 and
So they
9 with
holding it.
yeah, they holding it down.
Like what are what's their ranking in the division?
I'm about to
Do you
look
know?
now. I'm about to look now.
Yeah, I'm so out of touch with college basketball. Like we discussed, like I remember the days when guys stayed for 4 years and you at least knew who they were and what college they went to. And
Right. Well, right now Cleveland State currently is 14-9, and
okay,
they're in a four-way tie for first place in the Horizon League.
oh okay, sweet.
Tied
I
with
will start.
Youngstown State, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Northern Kentucky.
Okay, all
14 and
right.
9 under their first year coach.
Like you can give me the heads up who's the standout player.
Okay, let me look here. Let's go here. Player stats. Let's see. I don't even want to jack the dude's name up. Tristan Enaruna.
Okay, all right, that's our
He's
guy.
averaging 14 points a game. He's a forward.
All right, we'll start there. All well, we're Cleveland fans for sure, but we'll start following them. I mean, if they're making a run for the championship, then let's support our
Yes,
teams, guys.
And then you got Deshaun Parker, who's the point guard, and he's averaging about 10 points a game.
Oh, okay.
And then you got the veteran, Deontay Johnson, who's been there for a while. He's averaging 7 points a game and 6 rebounds a game.
Mm.
And then
So
you
we got
got,
a solid team, is what you're saying.
yeah. And then we got an athletic dude by the name of Tay Williams. He's a forward. He's averaging 10 points a game as well. Very athletic. Very
Okay.
athletic. From the games I done seen in Cleveland State, very athletic.
Jumping out the gym type guy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. He's bound to give you a highlight.
I respect that.
Yes, sir. And the girls' team is doing things too.
Hmm.
Cleveland State women's team.
Okay. Say they're making the same run as the guys,
Yes. Yes. I'm about to
or are they
pull
doing
in.
better?
You just wait and see. Cleveland State women's basketball.
Yeah, I got to get back into it. Like I said, this is gonna be good.
Right
I'll
now, they
start checking them
won.
out a little more.
Yeah, they won today against Robert Morris, 61-43. And the Cleveland State women are 20-3 for the season.
Oh, okay. So they serious.
Yeah. Yes. Serious,
Oh,
serious.
hey, anybody on their team that you want to shout out?
Yeah. Let me look here.
Wow, that's pretty good. 20-3.
Yes.
Like I said, I didn't know they were doing that well.
Yeah. I just happened to catch them on the tail end one time. I was watching them play Detroit, and they was up by about 20 in the first half.
In the
Now, I
first
don't.
half.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Let me see something as far as their games. Let me see something as far as the games. Who was their leading scorer?
Okay.
Well, it doesn't say. It won't give me no box score. But
Oh wow.
yeah, it won't give me no box score. And Detroit leads Cleveland State men at the half, 34-26. Well, in the first half, 34-26.
There's plenty of basketball left.
Yes. They got the players, but they ain't got no stats.
We'll
But
That's
anyway,
something we'll research for the next one. Like I said,
yes,
we gonna be more up on it.
yes,
Well, at least I am. You the one that's already.
yes.
You
Shout
already
out
the
to the
man.
Cleveland State women's team.
You've been locked on sports already.
Yeah,
216.
keep up the success and keep up the winning. And to the men also, and come back against Detroit tonight. Because y'all got to have
True.
this game. The Cavs
There's
game is
plenty of
about to
time.
start.
Okay.
Let's see, is Ja Morant playing or not? I don't think. Oh, he is playing. Ja is playing. And they're just now
Surprising.
getting started. So, hey, let's go Vikings. Well, anyway, we're going to take a commercial break real quick. And then
Okay.
we're going to come back and let y'all know what we think of the Browns with our report cards and grade point averages. On Locked On Sports, 216.
216.
Yeah, girl, your hips don't scam and your hips don't lie. Yeah, you got a man down. I love you when you dance on the dance floor. You're driving me crazy and I want more. Girl, your hips don't scam, don't lie.
See you looking from the corner, yeah, acting like you don't see movements coming from these thighs.
We're back. Locked On Sports 216. You seen the commercial right there. Katanda.
Word.
Am I saying it right? Katanda?
Yes.
Katanda
Katanda
Studio.
Studios, LLC.
Yes. Get those comic books. Iron Dragon. Get those
Facts.
comic books. This segment of the show is brought to you by Katanda Studios.
Oh, yes.
The
Shout out
Iron
to Joe
Dragon comic
Simpty.
books. Yeah, shout out to Joe and everything. But now, me and Sean C are going to go to the Locked On Sports Browns report card.
All right.
And we both got different grades for the Browns and everything. So it's going to be interesting.
I'll let you kick it off. I'll just follow your lead.
Okay. So I was going through the thing. So I'm going to start off with the O-line first.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with the O-line. The O-line, to me, grade says O-line, I give them a C. Reason why I give them a C
Interesting.
is they started off good. It did start off well, actually. It started off playing very well, but injuries set in. And injuries to the right tackle, he was on and off. And injuries to Teller and Jedrick Wills, I'm going to say he had him a season. I'll just say that. Now, I will say this, and even Posick, the center, who was surprisingly great this year, he was great. But then he got hurt for a few games. And Joe Petonio really held the line down. But I got to get him to see. And then when Deshaun came, I think it was a little confusion on the line of how to exactly block for him. In a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a sense. And then when Posick went out, the running game went to hell for a couple games. And the group, besides Jedrick Wills, the other four were solid when healthy. When they were all healthy. They were solid when healthy, but injuries and everything, whatnot. Yeah, injuries and whatnot. Kind of what's the name? And I put like the injuries into the grade itself too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And see, I didn't subtract for the injuries because I'm thinking like big picture. Like our line was pretty solid. I think I gave them an A, if I'm not mistaken.
Your grade is
and,
right at the bottom, A.
Right. Because I think if you go across the board, like you just named all the players, if you take the injuries off the table, like going into next year, if we have that 5, I think we'll be solid. You know, I mean, they're a solid O-line. We got one of the best offensive line coaches in football, if not the best. So I got to give them respect. Like I said, injuries definitely decimated us, and we did look bad down the stretch. But I do believe it was just because of the injuries, not because of the play or the players.
Other injuries
or the scheme.
And the scheme with Deshaun Watson coming, it's a different dynamic where Jacoby was more standstill. With Deshaun, they didn't know how he moved. You know what I'm saying? How he moved.
Correct. They didn't play with him. They hadn't had any experience playing with him behind center, really. You know, they had, you know, the preseason, but that doesn't really count. Live action is a lot different.
And I think he only played like 10 plays in the preseason.
Correct. So it's something that they can grow into. That's why I'm going to give them a pass. You know, I think they did solid. Chubb got another thigh wow. So,
yeah.
I think they're solid, and going forward, they're going to be good.
Now, speaking of that, we're going to go to the running backs. We're going to go to yours first. Sean C gives them a B+.
Yes, I did that because simply like Chubb would have got the A by itself, but everybody else what and it's not really the players like Hunt, Ford, and what's the name? Name escapes me right
Ernest
now.
Johnson.
Dearness. Those guys just weren't used properly, I don't think. And I'm not taking anything away from them, but that's the only reason why I couldn't give them the A or the A plus.
Yeah,
Chubb A plus all across the board, but
right.
everybody else, I mean, Hunt did so disappointing that they talking about letting him go. And I mean,
Yeah.
this dude is not a garbage running back. He's solid.
No, it's
So,
not. And I think he didn't have too much opportunities, really.
and that's all it was. He doesn't have the opportunity.
Now, my grade for the Browns running back is a B, solid B. Because Chubb,
Mm,
even though we complained about him not running the ball, dude still gained 1,500 yards. Now,
true.
I think we misused Hunt, never used Dearness Johnson, it seemed like. And Ford was sparingly used. He was used on kickoff returns.
Yeah, he
So,
was mainly a special teams player.
right. So basically, really based on Nick Chubb, I gave him a B. I gave him a B. And I also think they could have been used a lot more, and Kareem Hunt could have been put in a few more dynamic situations to be successful. And they could have used Dearness Johnson in a pinch, too.
All of them. I mean, everybody
Yes.
could have been used different, but that's a whole nother conversation. That would be more on the coaching side.
Right. Now, I'm going to go over to the wide receivers, where I gave them a B minus. And the reason why I gave him a B minus, I can give Amari Cooper an A. I can even give Donovan Peoples Jones an A. Well, no, let me take that back. I can give him a B minus because he dropped some crucial passes. And Amari
Mm,
made some drops too, but Amari had his finest season, and Peoples Jones had his finest season to date. And for a 6th-round pick, that's you getting a lot out of that for the value of
yeah,
the
no
pick
doubt.
itself. But the minus comes in after those two. Who else? Short,
Um, Bell showed flashes, but he didn't
yeah,
show all the way up. And Woods was hurt, so
right,
like I think those two guys will be able to contribute a little bit more next season. But
right.
yeah, outside of the top two, it was kind of scarce, and Schwartz was a total disappointment.
He was a total like disaster. And I see your grade for the Browns receiving corps is a C.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing that you're saying that like outside of the top two guys, it really wasn't any production. Um, yeah, that's as simple as I can get it. I mean, Schwartz, like he's not a football player, unfortunately,
Nah, he's a
and
track guy.
it is what it is, and hopefully the young dudes show up next year.
Woods and
Like
Bell,
Bell,
yeah,
I like he showed flashes for sure. Like he was in and
right.
out, and once again I don't know if that's the offensive scheme. I don't know if like the quarterback situation. Jacoby might not have been able to find him early. Deshaun might have been still getting the groove. We don't know. But we'll see. I got the faith in them. But like right now, I give them a solid C.
Okay, so then we're gonna go to the quarterback. No, we ain't gonna go to the quarterback. I'm gonna go to the tight ends. I don't think you got tight ends in, but you can just feed off
I did.
mine. Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about it. No worries. I gave the tight ends a C. A C. And Njoku was on his way to a star-studded year, but injuries set in. Harrison
Mhm.
Bryant, he was there, but he really did. You know what I'm saying? It's,
Yeah.
I can't really get a gauge on Harrison Bryant. You know what I'm saying? But in
Yeah, I
Njoku,
agree.
when he did play, at times he was good, and at times he was bad.
Well, I won't say he was bad. Like I think I agree with your letter grade on them, just because, like say, Njoku showed flashes. Like he can be great, and I think with Deshaun next year, he will be great. He'll be
Right.
like top 5, top 10 tight ends for sure. But like you say, Harrison Bryant, I don't know. Like
Yeah, it was
he's
like
there.
he's there, but he didn't really make much of you know what I'm saying? He didn't really make
And
much of
maybe
an impact.
once again, maybe he'll get better next year with Deshaun under center. So we'll
Right.
see.
We'll see. Which brings me to
Excuse me.
where you're gonna go here. This brings me to the quarterback. We're gonna go with your grade first. Sean C. grade says C or incomplete.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the incomplete because, like Deshaun, you really can't grade him because,
On 6 games.
yeah, we can't really count that. And then Jacoby, he actually played well. So
Yes. And
just so combined, it would be like a C. But if I had to just do Jacoby by itself, I would give him like a C plus, a B
right.
minus, somewhere around in there, because he definitely he overperformed in
Yes.
a no-win situation. So
Right.
salute to him, and we appreciate it.
Yep. And my grade for the Browns quarterbacks is a C. I give Jacoby a B. I give Deshaun a D. But really, like you said, it's kind of inconclusive. For
Mm-hmm.
real, for real. Because Deshaun really didn't play in training camp either. So that didn't really do him no favors, you know. But then
Not
it's
at
the
all.
fine line whether you want to play in training camp, then he get hurt, then you know what I'm saying. So it didn't do him
Right.
no favors. And Jacoby Brissett, in the situation he was in, and even though they went 4-7 with Brissett, he deserved a much better fate.
Yes.
They easy at worst, I think they could have went 5-6 with Brissett, but I think at best they could have been 7-4.
Yeah, a couple of those games, it was coaching that lost us the
Killed
game,
us.
not him. So
And then
he
you
did
had
have
to
a couple costly turnovers, but it wasn't.
yes. It
Yeah,
wasn't
it wasn't like that.
crucial like the Jets game. Whoever would have thought that would have happened? That
Right.
happens once every 40 years, just about what happened against the Jets. And who else did they play? They played the Chargers. The defense wet the
Mm-hmm.
bed, and he got
Yep.
them out to a 14-0 lead. And then you have, let's see, what other game they had that they had a chance to win? The Atlanta game.
True.
That should have been one. But
Yeah,
we gonna
like you
go
said,
to the other
it was
side.
several teams. Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
was several teams we should have beat, but like I said, that's all in the past. Like I said, we got
exactly.
this next year.
Now we're gonna go over to where the grades gonna really get real. The defense. And we're gonna start with the front four. My grade for the defense is a D. D for dastardly. And for Myles Garrett, despite all the injuries and stuff, whatnot he had, and that car accident and stuff, he still performed.
True.
He still performed and got it done, which is more than I can say for the interior of the line. You know what I'm saying? The interior of the line. And Clowney, he was often injured anyway, and I don't think really his heart or mind was in it anyway this year.
Nah, not at
And not
all.
knocking him or nothing like that, but I just don't think his heart or mind was in it this year. You know,
It's definitely no judgment. That's for sure.
no judgment at all. So I went with a D. Now we're gonna go with your grade, which you went with for the Browns.
I say
Let's see.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Yep. Woo, you.
Just wanted a little lower.
Yeah. FA.
No,
Flag.
I had gave him a D minus. I thought, yeah, I gave him a D minus. I didn't give him the F. I gave the defense against the run an F for sure.
Oh,
For
okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but I gave them a D minus.
Which basically is a F in a sense.
Yeah, and like you said, piggybacking off what you were saying, Miles was like the only bright spot, and he
That's
wasn't utilized correctly.
Sure
Like I
was.
said, we weren't great against the run. Our pass rush doesn't look like any of the playoff teams' pass rush.
Yes.
It was just too many things. But I have faith, with Schwartz coming in, that he's going to change things for the better.
Right. So now we're going to go to the linebackers on your grade first. D.
Yeah, and I'm being generous, honestly. Like, we need a middle linebacker really, really bad. We just need because I love the speed of our linebackers. I hate the tackling.
Yes, and a lot of times they were out of position on a lot of plays.
And that's what makes it so hard to judge our defense, because we both feel the same way. A lot of times our best players are out of position. So is it their fault or is it coaching? Obviously, the Browns feel like it was coaching. They let Woods go.
Yeah.
And not a lot of the other coaches. So hopefully going forward, Schwartz change things around.
Yeah, because my set of linebackers was a D, but really that D was contributed really too from the defensive line too.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Because the tackles are supposed to absorb
open things up
and open things up for the linebackers, but that was rarely done. You've seen some of the slowest guards and stuff in the league getting to the second line real quick on us.
Yes.
And with our linebackers being out of position, it was bad.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard to judge. Like, I get it.
Right.
I mean, we can't give them a high grade, but a lot of it, it's hard to just judge them. Anybody on the defense, really, because we feel like they were playing a lot of zone. How about that?
Yes. So we're going to go to the cornerbacks. I gave the cornerbacks a C. They started off crazy, even though I have to give rookie Martin Emerson an A. A. Because
I agree.
He if he keeps going on this trajectory, he's going to be a good one. But Newsom kind of regressed. But also Newsom is an outside corner, and they put him in as a nickel corner. So that's a lot. And people don't realize the slightest thing when you move somebody from something they're used to doing to another different spot can create chaos for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Ward started off horribly in the first 8-9 games, then got hurt, but then he came back and played better.
True.
He looked more like the guy that they signed for all that big money
right.
in the second half, late in the season and stuff. And then I think I guess he just said, forget it. I'm just going to play my man and that's it. The hell with that zone.
And that's the way to do it. For real, for real.
When in doubt, do what you do that's best.
That's our strengths.
Yes. And I could never understand why Joe Woods didn't use their strength and turned it against them as a weakness.
That's why he's no longer with us.
Your grade for the cornerbacks is a C+.
Yeah, I can't say too much more than what you said. I mean, C+ because I like the potential. Like, say, Emerson showed me some things. Once Ward starts having the man up, I think that he'll be more comfortable. Newsome
Yeah.
also. I think if they can just man up, we'll be in a
Yeah.
better position because
Yeah.
they're trying to play that zone and pass people off. I think it was just too much for them to try to process, and it
Right.
wasn't enough veteran leadership out there for them to be able to execute like that. So once again, I'm an optimist. Next year we got this.
Yep. So your grade on the safeties, C minus.
Yeah, I thought John Johnson was going to be a lot better, but I don't know if he's the answer. Like, we'll see. Delpit showed flashes for sure. But they're kind of like the same guy, so we need a different guy.
Yeah. My grade for the safeties was a D.
Oof.
Safeties often were out of position, and they gave up a lot. And truthfully, a lot of those big plays were on the safeties.
Yes, but were they out of position?
Yeah, especially in the zone, because it was like a lot of confusion. But John Johnson and Delpit were out of position a lot. Now in the
Yes.
second half of the season, Delpit improved.
A
He
lot.
improved, yeah.
And people should give him his credit.
Harrison, I don't know if he was playing or not. And Johnson, I don't know. He talked a lot, but I didn't see him do a lot.
And he might have been doing some things that we couldn't see, getting people in position, but he wasn't effective enough for what they're going to have to pay him. So I don't know if he's
Yeah,
going
and
to be
I
able to
don't
make
think
it
they're
happen.
going to pay him that this coming. I don't see it. So we're going to go over to the special teams, which was literally our utmost disaster at times. And I gave them a D. Two
And I
straight
agree.
games you couldn't recover an onside kick. One that cost you a game. And the other,
Yes.
the ball just happened to go out of bounds, or Pittsburgh would have came back possibly and won. And to think of that happened 2 weeks in a row, whew, bad.
Yeah, what can you say? Like I said, I totally agree. Like even our kicker was, kind of
He was shaky at times.
but he's young too, and I think his athleticism, as far as his leg, he'll get it together.
Right.
Hopefully.
Because I was like, oh no. And I see
But
your
like you
grade for the
said,
special teams. A D.
yeah, the same. Yeah, like I said, and like you said, they just you can't recover an onside kick. Like, come on, man, just fall
It's
on
like
it.
that's what your hands team is out there for. And it's like, come on, y'all can't recover an onside kick in 2 weeks in a row?
Right.
2 weeks
Like
in a row.
we'll
And
give you the pass on the first one, but that second one, man, come on.
and the only reason I saved them on that second one, the ball went out of bounds.
Yes.
Or
Agreed.
we might be talking about a 6-11 season.
and upset.
Right. Really upset. And the bright spot, Ford was decent on kick returns.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
Donovan Peoples-Jones showed flashes. He even returned one for a touchdown, even though, the Jakeem Grant injury killed him.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like next year, he'll be in that position and it'll be different. Like
Right.
we won't have to have our number 2 receiver out there doing that, or our number 2 running back.
Exactly. So you had grades for, let's see. You had a grade for the offense and the defense on a whole.
Oh yeah.
Your grade on the offense was a C minus.
Yeah, simply because, like I stated earlier, our quarterback wasn't there the whole year. Our O-line and our running back were the positives. Our receivers, and they were middling. Like Cooper's the real deal.
Right.
but and Peoples Jones showed flashes for sure. I want to, he had a great season. He's showing progression, and that's all you
Yeah.
can ask for. And but after him, it was a crapshoot. So
Yes.
yeah,
Then
our
for your
offense. Oh yeah, and defense, and both of these. Let me say this too. Both of these have a coaching overtone. Like the coaching affected both sides so negatively that I don't want to put the onus on the players like that when I speak of these overall grades. Like the most of this is because of the coaching.
which is what I'm about to get into. Coaching, a D. I could have gave him an F, but a D. We did not adjust at all.
No,
And people were saying, well, the offense is so good and all this. Well, if the offense is so good, how come we were scoring the first drive and then stall out and not score into the third quarter or the fourth quarter? What are
because
we doing in between those times?
it's points in the game where Chubb doesn't touch the ball.
Yes. And which leads to situational play calling. Like they say, Stefanski, he's an okay play caller, but situational play calling, dude, that was like a F right there.
Yeah,
F.
it's time for him to give up the reins on the play calling. Like we
Yes.
need you to focus on the whole team,
Yes.
please.
And then with Joe Woods, terrible. F. Could have been F. I could have gave the coaching staff a F on this. But
I mean, like, and Joe, not cutting you off, but Joe Woods, like, just the, I'm gonna just say zone. And everybody in Cleveland understands. Like that zone killed us many games. And
prime example, Atlanta.
mm-hmm.
Mariota only completed 7 passes. When a team runs the ball down your throat 14 straight times and you don't do nothing to adjust or anything,
Nothing. You stay in the same zone that they see, and you're
Cincinnati,
predictable.
Cincinnati, only receiver they had healthy and worth anything was what's my dude name? Number one,
Chase,
Chase. Chase. You
yeah,
could have doubled and triple teamed them and made them other jokers beat you, but they didn't.
nope.
They didn't. And they said, well, we didn't know that they didn't have all the other receivers. It's like, is you serious?
So
Like,
what does
oh my
that
God.
matter?
It's like, who the fuck, excuse me, who in the world is running this clown show? And special teams, like I said, that could have been an F too. But I gave him a D. Because
Like I say,
Ford,
you got to give salute to Ford and those guys,
yeah,
and some of the linebackers played well on special
yes.
teams, like
And then
Taki Taki
also,
and them were out
yeah,
there.
Taki and and also when you got Stump Mitchell and you got Callahan, you get them A's, so that F lifted it up to a D. But because to me, then we're gonna go to the front office.
Hmm.
D.
Hmm.
D. Despite the fact I say this, I would have made the Deshaun Watson trade too.
Yeah.
And the Jacoby Brissett pickup turned out to be excellent, but everybody knew that this team needed some defensive line help. After you let the Maliks go, well, the Malik
Mhm.
Jackson, you let him go, and Malik McDougal had the unfortunate circumstances.
Right.
And you depended on really a bunch of young guys that weren't ready. Now, who's to say Elliott, Togiai, and Perion Winfrey might turn out to be excellent D tackles?
True.
But you can't take that opportunity to find out when they're raw.
Or you have to coach them up, and that's
Yes,
the problem. They weren't coached up at all, and you could
yes.
tell.
And then also, the front office should have got a third wide receiver. They needed
Yes.
that, and they did nothing.
Nope. Like I
Now,
said, they might be on the hot seat in the next 2 years if that, some of these picks don't start panning out.
and I want to know who actually runs the team. D. Podesta or Barry?
Well, Barry's making the decisions for sure, but
Yeah,
we don't know what's going on behind the scenes for sure.
right. Because D. Podesta doesn't even come to Cleveland. He might come to Cleveland
Exactly.
once in a blue moon.
Nobody sees him. He's like a phantom.
Yes. So I gave the front office a D. And my overall synopsis for this team is I sincerely hope that they learned their lessons and licked their wounds after this season as far as the coaching staff. Because truthfully, Joe Woods wasn't the only one that should have been gone.
Facts.
I could have made a case for Prefer to be gone, which he should be gone. And I could have made a case for Stefanski to be gone. Because what I see with Stefanski is he's a glorified offensive coordinator posing as a head coach. And
That's why I
there's
say they have to take the my bad. That's why they have to take the reins away from him, because he has to break that stigma. Like,
Yes.
we don't need you to be the offensive coordinator. We need you to be the head coach.
Because it seemed like at times he would have told Joe Woods, look, what the hell is going on? Why is my defense getting gashed on the run? Can't you adjust something? Instead of just looking in the playbook.
Facts. So
And, hopefully.
But he's young too.
Yeah. How many games you give it for next season if they don't start off well that he's gone?
Honestly, the more I think about it, I think he'll make it through the season unless it goes like terribly bad.
Like, say, if they go 0-5 or 0-4.
Yeah, it would have to be like I would even say like a 0-6 for him to be like out of there. And it would have to be a bad, because I don't think they want a whole lot of turnover. I think we're tired of seeing different coaches, different regimes. So we got to at least give him a shot at this point.
Right.
But he's going to be on a short leash because Schwartz is going to be right there in the cut, and we can plug him in, and he can definitely be an interim coach until we figure out what we want to do next year, if need be. But I'm gonna be an optimist. I think the Browns are going to be a lot better next year. I think our player utilization is going to be different, because especially on the defense side of the ball, we're going to just have to man up and be football players.
Yeah.
And like you said, if we can lasso a receiver, we'll be fine.
Yes. So I'm going to go to GPAs. My GPA for the Browns is a 1.5. A D. So they got a lot of work to do this offseason.
Yeah. And once again, like, injuries and coaching is going to be a factor that'll boost it up next year. I think they'll be a lot better.
Your GPA, 1.37, which means they got a lot of work to do this offseason.
Yeah. Once
again, I don't want to hear about nothing about what they just get it done. Get your scouts, get some players that can play right away, and shore up the holes. No, you ain't going to be able to shore up everything. Everything ain't going to be perfect, but you got to get Schwartz some defensive linemen, and you got to get a middle linebacker, and you got to get Stefanski another receiver.
Well, you know that the defense is going to be the focus of our offseason. Like,
yes.
Like, we need a receiver, but that's not going to be the focal point. Like you said, defensive tackle is going to be the main thing that we have to shore up.
And a linebacker.
Because the young DTs that we have, I think one of them will be able to pan out, but they need a veteran person, veteran presence next to them for them to totally develop. And we'll see. Like I said, the Elliots of the world, and like I say, the Togi Eyes, and say my man Perrion. I think he'll definitely.
I think he'll be a lot better next year
once he figures it out. Yeah.
Yeah. He just
And like you
probably
said,
had some
and the
growing up he
linebacker.
had to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Just had some growing up.
definitely maturity thing. But yeah, the linebacker position, we'll find a veteran out here that wants to come in, and we'll be
Yes.
fine.
Yes. And there you have it, our Browns grades for the year of
Yes.
2022. Hopefully next year the grade point average and stuff will be a lot better.
Oh, it will be. It will
And,
be. We're gonna be optimists, like say it's Brownstown.
and
They're gonna
hopefully
be a
we can
lot
talk
better.
about them playing at this time of the year next year.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. We got the capabilities. We got
Oh
the
yeah, we
pieces.
do. You just got to
And
put it to
everybody's
work.
under contract. Yeah, and
Yeah,
everybody's locked up. So we don't have any excuses except for just fill those holes. Thank goodness.
that's true. Well, this concludes our session of Locked On Sports 216.
Oh, that
Be
was a fun
sure,
one.
yes, to like the video and subscribe to the Locked On Sports 216 YouTube channel, which is scrolling at the bottom. And we'll be on
Yes.
live every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Right
This is,
here.
yes, this is Keith Allen.
Sean C.
Sign out. Peace.
Peace.